Dear friend, let's discover more of who we are together. Love, Haley and Amanda.
We're back!
Welcome back, everybody. Welcome back, Amanda.
And happy Valentine's Day.
Oh my gosh.
When this airs, it will be Valentine's Day.
You know, and love is really, it's in the air.
Yeah, you said you wore that sweater for Valentine's Day.
Yeah, but I think it was bad lighting because
it's orange.
This is orange.
It's not red. It's not pink.
And you wore that for Valentine's,
yeah,
right?
because green is the complementary color of red.
Yeah. Which is the Valentine's
Which is
Day
Christmas,
color.
which is also a holiday.
Which, by the way, why is red and pink? What
love? Why do we associate those colors with love?
So
we're not getting into that.
No.
But let's do our pledge.
Because that's what we do.
Okay, here we go. Aww. We haven't done it in a while.
Do you remember it?
I do. I forget the real pledge of allegiance because I only know this one.
It's hard to say.
Yeah. Are you ready?
Yes.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United Mates in America, and rarely in public is where we stand, one friendship, under God, indivisible, live purdy, and just us for all. And it is just us for all today. Well, actually, we will have a special guest appearance at the end.
If we can talk him into it, if we can pull him in.
And actually, he's wearing pink pants for Valentine's Day. Isn't that cute?
That's why we're having him on.
Yeah.
Because we both failed.
Actually, we didn't even want him on, but when he showed up in pink pants, we were like, he's the only Valentine's thing of the whole show. So
he's embarrassed.
So we took some time. During the holidays in January, and I think you'll notice we're coming back with some pretty professional looking video.
Faces.
Yeah, we got some work done.
We had to take some time to recover.
Yeah, whoa, a lot of surgery.
They
took your stitches out. Last Monday. Got a lot of filler. So we're in a more professional setting, which we're going to talk about. And we probably sound a little more professional because I've really worked on my vocabulary.
Oh, boy.
No, it's just that we got good mics.
Yeah.
So we're gonna talk about that today. And also some life updates about what we've been doing.
We know you guys are just dying to know where we've been, what we've been doing.
People have been calling in left and right, like, what are you guys doing? Where are you? I like to pretend we're Frasier and we have a radio show and it's, instead of a podcast. Like, a lot of callers.
I was thinking of the, like, on Friends where Joey's at, like, the telethon.
No, it's we got a bunch of callers calling in. Yeah. What were you going to say?
I was going to say, but we're so excited to be back and we're going to talk about so many different things, but we do want to make sure that we're
staying alive.
You're scared. You got scared.
I didn't know which key you were starting in.
Me either.
It was really high.
Yeah. Because they're high.
Yeah.
Well,
they probably were.
And
they were probably high. But yeah, staying alive. Staying aligned.
You messed up.
I know. I'm sorry. I'm stupid. Staying aligned is the new segment
that we already did once.
Staying aligned to the Young Pueblo poem that we really feel like drives this podcast. Haley, you want to read it? It's just short and sweet.
I do. We thought we had it memorized, and we're close.
We do not. But it's from his book, Clarity and Connection,
and
which,
it says,
if you don't have it, you should get it.
You should. And they're just little small snippets, but they're like nuggets of wisdom. It says, an honest and deep conversation with a good friend, which we would probably say a dear friend, is sometimes the exact nourishment you need to regain clarity, get back up, face the world, and resume your mission with a new and focused energy.
Which is what we hope this podcast is, that we come together weekly, have a conversation with ourselves and others, and you are part of the conversation even if you don't get to input, but you can always call in.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can just be a caller, call in. And then hopefully after these conversations, you feel more aligned to your purpose and what you're trying to do in the world and go out and feel motivated in those ways. So we're staying aligned.
We really are.
And alive.
We are staying alive, although I will say...
Yeah, tell us about your experience.
In the past month, I accidentally got COVID.
You didn't do it on
Man,
purpose?
No.
Oh.
But now I'm feeling really thankful that I got it because I'm feeling free in the world,
Well,
y'all.
I think you should reference you're vaccinated,
Yes.
boosted,
Yes.
and you
I've
got the
been-
Omicron.
Yes.
Omicron.
The big O.
Omnicron.
Whatever you want to say. The
Yeah.
big O.
You get it if you stay at the Omni.
Cron.
Crom.
Yes, I've been very careful. We both have been very careful in the world. Vaxxed.
But we went to Washington, D.C. for a mural Haley was working on. And so we went, I was her assistant. We were very careful. But when we came back,
Thought
Haley.
I had a sore throat
But it's
because Amanda planned the trip, and she started our day every day with a run
around the
fun.
National Mall. That
Yes.
was cool. And then around Teddy Roosevelt's Island, which
That
was cool.
It was very fun, and by cool she means it
Freezing.
was below,
Yeah, it
yes,
was really cold.
freezing. And we're from Texas, and we ran in the coldest weather ever. And I was like, I think I'll have a tickle in my throat.
Yeah, she was like, I think you have COVID. I was like, you don't. It's just we were running in freezing weather.
Yeah, so I chalked it up to that, and then actually had COVID.
Yeah, and
So,
I'm the idiot who was, sharing beverages with her.
but
and
there's no way you didn't have it. We were together 100%.
yeah, but I
How'd
never
get it and you
tested
didn't?
positive.
Oh, those home tests are trash.
They are. So I'm assuming that I had it. So I'm also going into the world feeling a
Yay.
little free. But I didn't have any symptoms, nor did I test positive. I
But-
could have been asymptomatic.
But one of my favorite things that happened is that I went and quarantined at Amanda's house in the back half of her house.
Yes, because you have a roommate. You didn't want to give her COVID.
Right.
So my husband was out of town. Haley came and quarantined at my house.
But during this time, she finally got me hooked on Downton Abbey.
Now listen, we're late in the game on this show. We realize it came out in 2011.
When my parents tell me I'm behind the times, there's a problem.
There's a problem. Yeah. But I got into the show. I got Haley into the show while she had COVID, but we were separated because I was
post pictures of this.
I was still testing negative. So she was in the back half of my house because it's kind of got a good separation. And I was in the front half, and I would bring her food. So one night we ordered Benihana, which hadn't had for a while. And I want to tell you, it's freaking good.
It is.
Like the
we bought
ginger
extra
sauce,
sauces.
the ginger dressing, the miso soup, the mustard sauce. I was in heaven.
I know.
They should be a sponsor for this podcast.
Call in.
Call in,
1-800,
Benihana.
dear friend.
So anyways,
Too many numbers.
we ordered it. I brought her tray of food, left it in the back. I had mine. We FaceTimed watching, both of us watching Downton Abbey.
At the same time.
We pressed play at the same time. We're watching Downton Abbey on FaceTime, eating
our pups.
Benihana in the same house. It was so cool.
So,
It was so cool.
but our quarantine was pointless because you had it.
I know, I probably did. But it was nice to hang out like we were roommates again.
It was.
Because we were roommates for 7 years
Well, and
before.
I used to live in that bedroom.
Yeah, that
which-
was your bedroom.
Just now your marital bedroom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice. So we're going to talk today about where we're recording because it's kind of special.
It's very special. And
For a lot of reasons.
I can't even remember if we talked about this before, how we found this place.
I don't think we have talked about it.
So Amanda and I go on runs,
Mm.
and there is this one particular house, actually,
Oh,
that
yeah.
when we run by it, we're like, oh, man.
And whenever we say this, we mean every time.
Every
we run
time.
by this house.
We slow down.
We slow down. We
take a
comment.
break.
We say, "Oh my God, I love the roof.
Oh, the
Oh, look
tile
at
on
the look at the
patio.
slabs leading up to
Oh,
the
that color of black.
look
It's
at the
kinda like
grass.
green. It's a lot.
It's a lot."
The
And
landscaping.
we say something every time we run by
Yeah,
it.
there's a difference between jealousy and envy, and it's both.
Yeah, definitely both. So
anyways,
we always we like it's the back end of our run is whenever we get to that house.
yes. And then I was redoing my front patio, and I wanted to know where that damn tile was from on his front porch.
Yeah, because we drool.
Ran into the guy.
In front of his house.
In front of his house.
You had the nerve to
I did.
go up
I
and
did.
say on your run,
Yes.
I love your tile.
Yes. Asked him where it was from, exchanged numbers. Turns out there's this building on Jefferson Avenue in our neighborhood that we have both seen and loved.
And this is another thing. Every time we drive by, we're like, look at the tile on the front of that building. Oh, that's our favorite facade on Jefferson.
Yes,
blah,
and
blah, blah.
There's like this neon sign, which you'll see once you look it up. It's just gorgeous. The name is very catchy. We've always wondered what it is. Well, turns out the guy with the tile with the cool house, he's an architect, and he owns this building.
The one on Jefferson that we were just drooling over.
We still didn't know what it was, but then I don't know if you guys listened to the
Connect 4 podcast
with Emily and
Emily Henry. It's so good. We were guests on her podcast.
Yes, and she asked us to come be interviewed, and guess where it was?
She records her podcast at that building on Jefferson called. I said Jefferson. What did I say? Jefferson. And it's called Fernware.
Fernware.
So we show up to record the podcast with Emily Henry for Connect 4, and we're like, this is the building we love. And then walks in the dude that Haley talked to about the tile. Worlds collide. We're freaking out. It feels
like world.
Yes. So.
And we love our neighborhood. We live in Oak Cliff, and we love to support. We're so happy that we got to discover this place, and then once we
and how much cool stuff they're doing. Yes. So they're a studio, and they have amazing equipment, and they do music, like where they record and engineer music, but also they do podcasts, and they have really great equipment also with video and videography.
The building's also just gorgeous.
The building is gorgeous. They've done a phenomenal job with the building, but it's like a great place for creatives in Dallas to have the chance to have good quality versions of what they're putting out in the world, to have a launching point of like what they're doing. And so we were self-engineering our podcast, invested in the best material and equipment that we possibly could. And then when we found this place, we fell in love, wanted to support it, also wanted to bring our podcast to the next level. So we're now members of Fernware. We're getting members jackets.
You hear that?
We're getting members jackets. And we're going to be recording our podcast here from now on.
If it goes well.
Yeah.
We don't want to give them to.
No, we're members. It's not a trial. Okay. And so we love it. We love that we're here. It also feels nice to be doing this at a higher level because it's something that we love doing so much.
Well, and we were trying to like become masters at each part of this process, of the recording, the audio, the video, the graphics. And now we can pass that on to people that are actually, that is their specialty. And that feels nice too.
And I want to say that something they do here at Fernware that is so incredible is they do these Tuesday night jam sessions, and they're called spectacular jams, and you'll hear why it's called that here in a minute. But it's not every Tuesday night, but they do most Tuesday nights. If you follow their Instagram, you can definitely keep track with when they do this. But they have drinks, they have a cool setup, and they have some of the best musicians who come in and totally improvise jam. And then towards the end of the night, after those people that they brought in to jam, they kind of open it up to other local musicians who want to jump in and kind of take over and different instruments and even vocals. So Haley and I were like, well, we've got to see this. Yes. And so we went a couple of weeks ago to the Tuesday night jam for the first time. And I want to tell you.
I want to tell you.
I want to tell you. And then you're going to tell them that whenever we were in the room, it's a small room and you're kind of like all packed in, and they have the music streaming also out into the other like lobby areas. But like when you're in the room with the players, the creative energy, it's so real. So like palpable. is so, it's so exciting. Like I haven't felt that much joy around creativity in so long. And then it spurred me on after I left. Like I felt very inspired outside of music, even like just, I was smiling from ear to ear. I was wearing a mask, but like if you could have seen me, I was smiling from ear to ear the entire night. Like literally giddy is the word. And I just kept feeling like I was looking at these people who are masters of their craft. And I just was in actual awe, which is an amazing feeling to be in. Like
important feeling to have.
Yeah, to really be in awe of someone's craftsmanship and grit gifts. And so we stayed, I think we stayed until midnight, and they were still going. Yeah. And it was such a great night. We met a lot of amazing, interesting people. I recommend everybody going to, you got to try to get into a jam session Tuesday night.
Because we've been saying, especially because of the pandemic, we just needed a spark. Yeah. Like it's just so hard to spark yourself creatively and like socially these days. And when we decided to take that leap and go try that, oh my God, it just lit us.
It really did.
And I think the spontaneity of it being a jam session too was just like you're so present and in the moment. You're witnessing something new happening. People are just, in that new level. I'm thinking of that movie Soul, which is, a Pixar movie, right?
Yeah, but it's good.
But yeah, and like when people, they like get elevated into that like
sweet spot.
Yeah, where you're like almost in a different place, and I really felt like we were in that, and it was so magical. So again, highly recommend.
I totally agree. I feel like also it's kind of rare. You know how when you go out and listen to music, you don't really know what level of musicianship you're going to experience, and sometimes it can be disappointing because it's people who are just starting out or aren't great at their craft or whatever, but like these are people at the top of their game, and it is, I think that's where it was like really nice to be awe-inspired. Like so we are going to talk to Patrick,
Mr. Valentine's Pants himself,
who is one of the owners, one of the owners of Fernwear. And so I was going to say only owner, but you have a partner. And so we are going to ask him some questions about Fernwear so you can learn a little bit more about the place that we're going to be recording at.
And if you have any questions,
just call in. 1-800-DEAR-FRIEND.
Patrick, get in
Come
here.
On, Patrick. Come on. Welcome, everybody. Patrick to the show. I feel like it's the Oprah show.
I know.
Mr. Valentine's Pants.
Right, get in here.
Yeah. Love it.
Come on, scooch
Love
in.
It. Come on over.
No, you scooch in too.
Oh, okay, here we go.
Just want to all be right scooched in.
Welcome, Patrick.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, we love your spot.
Thank you.
Did you know how much we loved jam sessions?
I mean, you sent me a text message afterwards, which
yes,
I was super excited to get. So yeah, I knew, but I didn't know. Like now I know.
Now you know. Yeah.
You were.
It's important.
Do you feel like that when you're there? Because you're videoing it.
Yeah. So I do feel like that when I'm here, and it's hard for me to stay sometimes focused on what I'm trying to do because I'm filming. To get content and to kind of capture the moment because they are special and I think worth archiving because they're fun. But yeah, I do feel that way.
So. Okay, tell us about you and Sput and why you guys decided to start Fernwear.
So I used to play music, not like those people, but played music when I was younger in my 20s. And
I don't think I knew that.
Was in a band, I played the drums. And so I did that for... I did that for a while, and then for a lot of different reasons stopped doing that. I kind of needed to take a break and have a lifestyle change. So I'm a bit of an extremist, and just decided to put the whole lifestyle in the trash can, and moved and did all that stuff and quit. And then that was 15 years ago or something, maybe more. I'm not that good at math. But, it was a long time ago. And then some people in the neighborhood found out that I played music and had been begging me to, play with them, do a little project.
So you must have been good.
This one guy, kept asking me. I kept telling him no. And then eventually he convinced me because I had this building and I had this empty apartment. And he was like, listen, if you're my friend, you're going to let us play music in that empty apartment. And I felt bad and I said yes. And
Whoa.
then like a few months later, because of the extremist issue,
Yeah.
like it kind of looked like this.
So you bought this building when you moved here?
Yeah, I was in New York 6 years ago, moved here. Actually was doing some work on Davis at Joy Macarons on Davis, who
Love
Liz
Joy Macaroons.
is my cousin. And so
What
I
kind
was
of
living
work?
in New York doing design work, like designed and built their first shop.
Wow.
So I was doing that and saw this building with a for sale sign on it.
Ugh.
And I fell in love with it, and I just had to have it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And the name Fernware, tell us the story about that because it's really cute.
Yeah, so it used to be a hardware store, and I think somewhere in its life it was also a furniture store. I think it was furniture first and then hardware. I could be wrong about that. I'm sure somebody in the comments that lives in the neighborhood will correct me, but I think that it was a furniture store and then a hardware store. And when we found the building, there was a small engine repair shop here, and the hardware store that was in the front was kind of more of like a swap meet thrift store.
Ooh.
Like might have like nuts and bolts, but
Yeah.
might have like a old picture of Marilyn Monroe with a cracked glass or whatever. It's kind of like the
nice.
guy who was a collector of things.
Yeah.
And he would trade them and sell them and whatever. But it wasn't really a hardware store or a furniture store. And the building was in disrepair, in beautiful disrepair. And so like half the letters were kind of peeled off the sign. So when we found the sign, we just kind of made it phonetic. We made it to where you could pronounce it by removing a couple letters and putting the neon back on it in a kind of funny way. So now it says Fernware.
Because it's a combination of furniture and hardware.
Yeah.
Love that.
Love it.
And so how did you, I guess the friend you're talking about who's like, if I'm your friend, you'll let us play up here.
Right.
Who is that friend?
That guy's name is Andrew Snow.
Andrew Snow.
He's an awesome guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Persistent.
Persistent.
Yeah. And I'm grateful that he was persistent because it turned into this, which is cool.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. And then the jam sessions on Tuesday night, was that always the plan when y'all kind of...
So, yeah, it wasn't the plan. And the plan has always been a little bit, the path hasn't been straight for what this place is. And I think we still don't 100% know
which
what
is
it.
cool.
Yeah,
I think that's what
fine.
makes it cool.
Mm-hmm.
But the Tuesday night things came up because, the whole goal with how we set the place up was to provide access to this type of space and equipment at a price point and at level of familiarity or whatever that we're not a big huge studio that costs hundreds and hundreds of dollars an hour to rent out, and that comes with all that where you need to backline the room, and it's we have all the instruments here, and just have tried to remove barriers to being able to get people to come in the studio and work, so that's been the deal. And also we wanted to be able to create a platform to broadcast the kind of depth of talent that Dallas has, because I don't think anybody talks about that. Nobody considers us a Nashville or a Detroit or
Right.
but
we have great talent.
Deeper talent than either of those cities or New York or whatever. Like
Bam.
a lot of players are here in Dallas, and they get on the plane all the time to go do those sessions in those cities. So not that those cities don't also have great players, but it's just not something I think people know
Right.
about Dallas. And so we decided to do the jam sessions to kind of start that, to create that platform, but also to have a little bit of outreach to the community, to give people a chance to come up here and
See
be able
it.
to, rub elbows with their heroes and,
Literally.
sit
Yeah.
behind their instrument and play with people that they've idolized forever. And
Wow.
It's so
yeah.
cool. And you're loving it?
I am loving it. Yeah, it's fun. It's fun.
And it's a passion project.
It is a passion project. And I think that, and that's one of those things that, it is a passion project, but at the same time, like I've learned through, just my experience as an architect or doing this, that like in order to be able to devote yourself to a passion project in an appropriate manner,
Because you're an extremist.
because I'm an extremist, and it's going to be done. We're going to do it well, but at the same time, in order for that to be something that you can continue to pour yourself into, you need to have a path to it not being a financial sinkhole. You know what I mean? So yeah, which has been good to hold ourselves accountable to, like, if we want to do this stuff that's fun and a little bit expensive and time consuming, we need to hustle up some work, which has been great. So like being able to do the thing that seems like it's, maybe from a business perspective, not the wisest way to spend your time and money, has actually caused us to, work hard. And
you're getting stretchy. Like you're trying to be creative of how you're going about it, which I think is making it unique.
Yeah.
Really unique. I don't know any place like this.
Well, and it's nice that it doesn't fit into a box, because you're kind of like staying present in this moment and going to see what unfolds.
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you have a future vision for it, or is it kind of you're going down the path it's...
Yeah, I mean, I think that the future vision that I have for it is to I think that we need more space. I think that eventually we'll be able to have more space. So that's something that's kind of out there in the future. And I think that just being able to stay flexible enough with what we do that we never commit so hard to one model that we're not able to shift and pivot as artists need, different accommodations, But I think that like what we're doing right now wasn't in the original plan. We didn't think we were going to be doing the podcast stuff, but it's awesome to do it because we bought all this amazing camera gear to do the jam stuff, and then we're like, we have microphones too.
Do you think it's like
podcast?
It's hard to not know what the plan is for you? Are you a type A? Are you a go with? Because for me, that's the thing about my life that's hard. It's like I want to plan.
People start at the end and go backwards, or we try to stay in the moment and
but you're
it
staying
unfold.
So flexible. Is that hard or?
Sometimes it's hard. I'm a person that is. I think that I'm flexible. We should bring Will on here, and he could tell you all about it. But
Real flexible.
I think that I'm flexible. But once I say I'm gonna do something, and I put that out there, and somebody else hears me, there's something in me that won't not do that. I have to. At that point, I have to do it. You know what I mean? And so that's the only time where maybe I would be considered not flexible. You know what I mean? Like I kind of want expectations to be met. I want people to like know that if we say we're going to do something a certain way, that we're going to do it. So that's the only time I get kind of stuck in my ways. But for the most part, pretty easygoing.
Well, you do seem easygoing.
Yeah.
Pink pants.
We could ask my wife.
Yeah, let's have her on here.
Will,
we actually have her here. Come on out. I'm kidding.
I think I was in the restaurant the other day or something, and somebody made a mistake, and the waiter was apologetic, and I think I said like, "Oh, don't worry, I'm super easygoing. It's no big deal." And Cindy just looked at me and was like, "You
liar!
You're lying." So,
She's easygoing and a liar.
She knows you best, so we'll have to do a little side interview with her.
You can.
Well, we really like it here.
Thanks
for having us.
You're doing a great job.
Yeah. Well, you asked about Sput, and I dodged that question. I didn't dodge it, but we just like
went somewhere else. I'm sorry. Anyway, yeah.
So Sput, and the story with Sput. So Sput, his name's Robert Sput Seawright. He's a drummer.
Incredible. I mean,
beyond,
like that night at the jam session, he was playing drums, and I was literally. But this is what I love about him. Is he's incredible, and he's kind of like a lot of times he's leading where it's going, but he looks so happy doing
he's
that.
In his sweet spot.
It's like it's radiating so hard off of him. You can't dodge it. You're just like, I'll take it all.
Yeah, he's amazing. And I tell people all the time that, and I think it's true. I think he's the best best at what he does. That's
oh my
alive
gosh,
and walking around on the planet today. And that's for real. But
I agree.
But he's a great guy, and I found out that he lived here in Oak Cliff through seeing like a video of him on YouTube with the Oak Cliff record store called Spinster. He had a Spinster shirt on, and it was during the pandemic, and I like right at the beginning of the pandemic, I think, and I sent him a little DM, like, nice shirt, and he wrote
so
back like
easy
a little
going
ha-ha or something like that, and then I said, hey, I've got this spot, come check it out. And he came and looked at it, and we kind of talked about the kind of Dallas platform thing, and I knew he was the guy that could help us make that happen. And so we hooked up.
And can you give, do you know a little bit about Sput's music history a little bit? Because we know some stuff.
Yeah. So he started out kind of in the gospel scene. He was in a group called God's Property.
Oh my gosh! Yeah, Kirk Franklin.
Yeah.
Oof.
So he started out in that scene, and won Grammys for that as a young person. I don't know exactly how young, but teenage years.
Wow.
And has always been kind of a drum savant, and then went on to work with Snoop and all the folks. So he's played drums
Who's
for a lot
Snoop?
of people. Just that guy.
Doggy Dog.
The dog guy.
Did he play? He was drums with Snarky Puppy?
Yeah, he was a drummer for Snarky Puppy for a number of years. Was in that original group. He's now just got there's a band called Toto. Maybe you've heard of that.
Yeah.
He's playing drums for them, which that the original drummer for that band is named Jeff Porcaro, and is probably drummer's favorite drummer. So to get that gig is a big deal.
Incredible.
So he's actually off doing that right now, on tour with them. But yeah, he's kind of done everything, and he's he plays keyboards, and he produces and composes, and
but he's also here on Tuesday nights,
here,
just hanging out.
Because it's called Spectacular Jams.
Spectacular Jams, yeah. Because if it was like Pat-tacular
Jams.
If it was Pat-tacular Jams, when we called people to come,
they wouldn't
not answer the phone,
No. And he, we started following him on Instagram after that night. He's, all over doing crazy fun gigs.
Yeah.
It's very cool.
That's what he does.
Cool. I'm glad you DM'd him and said, nice shirt. So easygoing.
Yeah.
Man.
Isn't that easy
You
going?
are so easy.
See, Cindy, check it
come
out.
on.
See, Cindy?
He sends nice DMs that are easygoing.
He slides into people's DMs.
No, Cindy.
Whoa. All right, Patrick, thanks for talking to us.
All right,
and
I'm
thanks
outta
for
here.
having us. Get out of here.
We do want member jackets.
Yeah,
Okay.
we're not kidding. We're not easygoing.
Pink corduroy member jacket.
Yeah, pink corduroy. Yes. Every day's Valentine's Day. And every day matches. Do you wear pink pants every day?
I don't know.
Pink is your favorite color, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, this is where we're going to be, y'all.
We're going to be seeing you every Monday from here on out.
Are you excited? Because we're excited.
We are.
Are you excited?
I'm very excited.
Me too.
I
love it here.
That someone else is editing this video.
I'm so excited someone else is editing this audio. And the vibe in here is nice.
It is.
It feels good. So we'll see you next week. But until then, live purdy.
We are your hosts,
Haley and Amanda.
We'll see you next week.
Have a good one.